What's good with it? Lucky Lefty podcast. Mary J bringing us in. Brought to you by Nora Whiskey. I hope we don't get dinged for that. NoraWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey at NoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you do so.
Responsible. You heard that? I didn't know. See,
yeah, dude. Yeah, that was the intro music today. It wasn't long enough to get dinged, though. They had to get us some copyright. They would be real petty to ding us for that.
That's right. That's right.
Man.
It's Apple Friday. It's Mary J. Blige Friday, man.
It's for the culture Friday. That's what we do right here every Friday, especially in the off season. If you had to get to the bad questions about anything, man, we can talk Oscar nominations. Matter of fact, question of the day: what's the best movie you saw all year? The best movie you saw all year. Now, see, when you say that, that can mean, well, man, the flat out just checked all the boxes, script, acting, everything. Or it could just be the film that made you laugh the most. Like, dude, that was the best cinematic experience I had all year. However you want to look at it, what was the best movie you watched all year? Man, YouTube, thumbs up, smash it, subscribe. We appreciate it. We keep getting subscribers each and every day. Now that we're getting back into the swing of things on a daily basis, it's a blessing. We appreciate you guys, LL Nation, Notre Dame fans. And then the notification bell. Every time we go live or post something, you'll know. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. We spin it different. Home of the misguided passion. So along those lines, Left, I'm a huge supporter of small films. And the reason I'm a huge supporter of small films, the majority of the time, are kind of questionable in a lot of things. Script, acting is, questionable. People are just trying to get into the business. But I support. Baby girl is in the business. That's her hustle right now. She's doing small films, YouTube series, music videos. That's how you get into the business until you get that one, right? You get that one role.
Absolutely right.
So I support, dude. I watched a movie on BET Plus, dude.
Wait, you bought the Plus service?
It came in a bundle.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I hope you didn't just go out of your way to get that subscribed.
I mean, I probably would, even if it was solo, just because I support Black enterprise.
Okay, that's fair.
Let me give you the premise of this movie, Left.
Is it Tubi timeline worthy?
No, it's a little. It's actually, this is the crazy thing, because my wife does not enjoy like the Tubi joints, bad films.
Cinematic has gone down lately.
My brother and I enjoy them because it's great comedy. It is absolutely great. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a romantic story, a thriller. It's funny. So I'm watching this movie, and the premise of this movie is overnight one night stand. That's the name of the movie.
Overnight.
So the premise is a retired athlete, retired baseball player, had to retire because of injuries. His wife is a successful business woman. And they just built this massive mansion, dude. And dude, the crib is dope. Like wherever this crib is in real life, it's super dope. So she goes out of town. He picks up this girl at a bar, brings her back to the crib. Tells her she has to go the next morning. But he goes upstairs before he sees her going out the door. She lives in their crib the next month, bro. She never left.
Huh?
She never left, and it becomes like a thriller / horror film / comedy. Dude, it is like the most unreal. Because I'm sitting there.
That's what it'd be unreal. It'd be unreal like that. That's crazy.
So I'm sitting there with the missus, and I'm like, the crib is pretty big, and she's like, Sean, I would know if somebody was in my crib. She was like, I don't care how big it is.
No.
She was like, I would smell her at the door. She was like, dude, I would know. She was like, she's around here taking Tostitos, taking chips, so she can eat while she's there. She's using the other bathroom. She's
No.
like, dude, I would know if somebody else was in my house. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
man,
God.
I'm like, yo, it's just the two of you. It's a massive mansion. Like, you probably don't even go into certain parts
Of
of
the
that
house.
crib.
Don't even go.
Right. Scenes where, she runs from the front door, the girl is chasing her with a knife, she runs up the stairs, she gets to the top of the stairs, and the girl is there at the top of the stairs. It's like, what? Left, left.
The angles ain't angling. It's like either. But that's what the attraction of those movies bring. It's the unrealistic, very relatable, unrelated stories that you can just take pieces of and be like, I can see that, and then I can't see it at the same time. But I don't think they're meant to be taken as like cinematic value, top of the line actors. Like this is a stepping stone to get to the next Steven Spielberg movie. I think this is just an area in which that lives.
Yeah, yeah. Left, when I tell you, this movie had me in tears, bro. They were sitting on the couch having a movie night, watching a scary movie, and the girl is behind the couch the whole time. It's just like,
Oh, like I know my girl would have turned around or something, man.
bro,
What's going on?
it was just like how, but it goes to like society, right? How much are we caught up in other things? Like, when's the last time you actually just took a walk left and just like took in like your surroundings and didn't have something in your ear, weren't looking at your phone, like, because that's what society really has come to, right? When's the last time you actually just walked outside and took in the atmosphere, the ambiance of nature?
I think it's been a little easier having kids because you at some point you can't even look at your phone because they be into something. So
Man,
I
fast.
go outside with them sometimes in the backyard. Well, not sometimes, we go every day. Go in the backyard and then just have some time, just look around. I noticed that I'm growing some oranges on the orange tree currently. Some things happen in the garden, and it's usually pretty nice days. So those
Mhm.
are the times I get to break away from the phone. But you definitely need moments where you can stay present in mind, just because like you said, the phone takes your mind to the internet. So you may be there, but you ain't there. That's why I hate when people be on when you're talking to somebody and people on their phone. There's just no way you're paying attention. It's just impossible.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, the return on investment quality, if you want to laugh late at night, is fantastic via Tubi. It's fantastic. It's almost like it's a hit. You can't win or lose. It's a win-win situation. It's a flat out win-win situation. You're going to laugh. I'm not telling you you're about to watch the best film, but if you just want to laugh, whether it's at a character, the production, something within it is going to make you laugh, man. But I support it all. Even with people trying to fall off because they found out that Tubi is owned by Fox Studios. Does make me a difference. We're going to talk about a new linebacker offer that jumped out to me, Left. Really impressive young man. I put us some intel over at the message board, the Irish Breakdown. I like this kid's film, Left. I really do. We're going to jump into his film. But today we want to talk about going into the landscape of NIL, the unknown, transfer portal, booming, especially with the departure of two legendary coaches, two legendary college coaches. If I don't know if Jim Harbaugh qualifies for legendary, definitely not on the same level as Nick Saban. But he's a pretty darn good college coach. What is the biggest thing and the biggest reasons for Notre Dame to stay independent? I think the independence of Notre Dame in a way left has grown stronger. Even with the demise of the Pac-12, you have teams filtering into the ACC, you have teams filtering into the Big Ten. I still see Notre Dame's independence, especially with the new apparel and TV deals. Pete Bavacqua at the helm taking things into the future with his expertise with TV deals and marketing and things of that nature. I actually think Notre Dame is in a better position from a business standpoint than they maybe were 7 to 10 years ago. And what I mean by that, Left, is that 7 to 10 years ago, it seemed like the essence of the NBC deal, the essence of being an independent, the essence of being the singular school at the big table when discussions were taking place, it seemed like it was wearing off a bit, right? We were in the middle of the big SEC run. It seemed like the SEC was running everything. And now it seems like even with Notre Dame playing the back in NIL, seems to be a really good decision, right? We've seen schools get sanctions. We've seen schools jump in feet first, not really get the return on investment. And Notre Dame has kind of played the back, tried to let this thing play out to see where things settle. I think that strengthened their position as an independent. I think they were able to do that as an independent. They go into these negotiations. Yes, it hurts them that they can only get up to a fifth seed because they don't have an alignment with the conference. Okay, that's fine. But basically, the top seed of everybody else, or one of the top seeds of everybody else, you get a home playoff game, big time revenue, and then you go into a matchup probably against the 4 seed or the 3 seed. So you don't have to mess with the top 2 seeds, and you don't see them until the semifinals. So independence, in a sense, has become beneficial for Notre Dame, and I think it's becoming strengthened in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
I think the luster, Marcus Freeman coming in, gives the program a bump, gives it a different exposure. You have guys like Plies out there, consistently pushing for Notre Dame, consistently pushing for Notre Dame. And that's fantastic. The independence of Notre Dame and the strength of who they are as a program academically, it's becoming a great benefit for Notre Dame moving forward. Whether or not they can hold off as expansion in the college football playoffs can continue to grow, we'll see. We'll see, Left. But right now, I like where they stand in their independence in comparison to what it was 10 years ago when it seemed like people were like, man, please, that NBC deal doesn't mean anything.
That's right.
Now, yeah.
And that's good to see because now you get a chance for Notre Dame to flourish in a position of their destinies in front of them. They don't have any guidelines that they need to go by in order to get to where they want to because everything is kind of in place for them to take advantage of the opportunity, which is this is still wide open with the NIL, these TV deals, the apparel, everything's playing into this ecosystem that Notre Dame has shown and proved over the years that they can maintain an independent status, still be relevant, and still be a part of the conversation in college football.
And with that, I'm extremely excited to see now what they do, Left. The combination of, Amir working his magic, right? Amir Carlisle, everybody on the staff that brought in the pivot, did that whole deal. got the interview with Marcus Freeman. So you have forward-thinking people that are taking the brand to a different audience, giving expansion in different ears and putting different eyes on Notre Dame. And you take Marcus Freeman, what he's been able to do, how he's advanced the program from recruiting to just who he is as a person, his magnetic personality, the draw that he is, the interest that he brings from outside media, national media. The program itself continues to be a top program academically. We just talked about J.D. Bertrand being an academic All-American. That's going to continue. And then the new apparel and TV deal. Hopefully, from what we saw on Junior Day, Notre Dame is definitely experimenting with some colorways, with the different combinations. As far as the uniform, the green and white, the white on white we've seen. There's some different things they can do. We saw Jerome Bettis Jr. and Elijah Burris, post pictures from their visit where they took pictures together. The combination of Plaxico Burris and Jerome Bettis that played with the Steelers. You add to, Ryan Clark's son, Jordan Clark, being here, another Steeler. It's just, there are a lot of things in NFL combinations. I believe there are 11 players from Notre Dame that will be participating in championship weekend in the NFL. That's amazing. That's the most in the NFL. Notre Dame has the most players participating in championship weekend. That's fantastic, man. That's great marketing for the program. All of these things are coming to a head.
That's right.
And in my opinion, the independence of Notre Dame is really trending and growing and getting back to where it was. And it has an opportunity to do so. The only thing, if they want to play dirty and put, Notre Dame's back against the wall where Notre Dame's forced to join a conference eventually, then
but which one will we even join? We're so outlier as a program. I think we're, in honesty, too good for the ACC. The Big Ten is makes most sense, but even with that, I don't see us doing a good job sharing revenue with people.
Y'all don't want that basketball smoke, bro.
And don't want the basketball.
Notre Dame, y'all don't want to come to Champaign. Y'all don't want to come to Champaign every year. Y'all don't want that. I know coming up.
Northwest is like, look, we'll go on vacation. We'll go on, take a quick trip, long stay. Champagne, I mean, it's like, man, Brad Underwood, man, the winning is losing his coach. That was what Brian Kelly was. Teams didn't fear to come to Notre Dame. Man, teams were excited to come to Notre Dame. Fans
not excited.
Get a ticket. You know what I'm saying? They know they can get a ticket on game day at the stadium. They don't have to buy ahead. They're like, oh, no, they ain't going to give them to me. Just a couple $100. They just want a couple $100, So I do think us in the SEC will be the best because we'll be the class of the South. Number one. Number two, we'll get some recruits. I think it'll change if we were to be a part of the SEC. The Texas Notre Dame game, the Oklahoma. I think
Alabama's coming up on the schedule.
Yeah.
Texas is coming up on the schedule again. Texas A&M is on the schedule this year.
And Notre Dame and SEC football be a match made in heaven from what the fans would love each and every week. I mean, yeah, we'll get excited for the Michigan, Ohio State weeks. But then there's those Indiana weeks, and Purdue weeks, and Wisconsin weeks where you like, all right, I might have to come back to second half, But if you put us down there, we got Georgia on the schedule. We might have to go to LSU a week, see Brian Kelly. Might have to fly over and play Texas another. Yeah, that's well worth the challenge. I think if you can make it through an SEC schedule as Notre Dame, GOAT status is not far away. And then don't let us get no playoff situation. I think it'll be the best of competitive worlds because I think our women's basketball team go down there and do something. We be competitive with South Carolina. Dawn Staley wouldn't be the only one.
No, left. No, you
wouldn't be the only one.
Not right now, dog.
Not right now.
Not right now.
But if we went down there, we would get some recruits. He would
Left.
get some recruits.
That game last night
It was great.
was lit.
Yeah,
Man, that game
great
was lit.
basketball.
Boy, that was a great basketball game. That was lit, boy.
Basketball.
That was lit.
It was
I would have
hooping. It was
loved to
hooping.
be a fly on the wall during the halftime, Don Staley's halftime speech. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall.
I think
Left.
both coaches have great personalities.
Left.
I love
Our
this.
best players are like freshmen and sophomores. Left.
Yeah. That guard they got at South Carolina.
Man,
she's amazing. But
And
I
all-
think the guard is amazing too. Hidalgo, I think she's pretty good.
yeah, but they got like 2 or 3 Hidalgos. That's the issue, dog. And they just bigger. They're just bigger. Angel Reese was talking all that trash early.
She was doing good though. She had a solid game.
Mm-hmm. Where was she at in the fourth quarter? She was on that bench. She fouled out.
Yeah.
That was a great game, though. Great college basketball game. I don't even say, I don't disrespect it by saying that was a great women's game. No, that was a great college basketball game.
Yeah, they was hooping. And I think
Atmosphere
it
was
was
dope.
SEC matchup, championship tournament. Hopefully, they get a
Mm-hmm.
chance. Then they got the big tournament, so they're gonna come across each other a couple times, hopefully. But my whole thing too is how the merge kind of thing is happening. Steph Curry, shout out Sabrina Ionescu. But I think the challenge is with Caitlin Clark. I think that's who Steph need to be challenging. Because she knocking down shots too. So maybe that could be an all-star switch up. Because you got to make these all-star games interesting. They're trying to do it in the NFL. I think that's a little harder to get off because it's so much impact and guys are just too brand focused and longevity conscious that the all-star game probably gets in the way with that.
Mm-hmm.
NBA, they could do women and men skill competitions. I think that would be cool. I think that'd be interesting. Put Dame versus Enrique in a skills challenge or something. That would be cool. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe they combine WNBA and NBA All-Star weekends.
They need to, especially the 3-point contest.
That'd be lit. I think that'd
shooting
be
and shooting. Shooting.
Yeah, well, what ball would they use though?
The girls would use their ball and the dudes would use their ball.
You don't think that matters?
That's a level playing field. As a dude, have you ever tried to shoot a women's basketball?
It's unfair for us.
Oh man, shooting a women's basketball is like you might as well shoot a tennis ball, bro.
Yeah, because the fact you could, listen. So yeah, I think it's a little different, but I think that's the equality you look for. You could even do it. I don't think you would do it. Would you do a joint all-star game? Like put LeBron and Griner and go 1-for-1. Like 2 girl starters, 3 guy starters. I don't know.
I would do that. I would do that with the snubs.
Okay.
Or maybe I would do that with like an iteration of like the rookie sophomore game.
Right.
I would do like the rookie sophomores WNBA, NBA.
Okay.
And I would get rid of that celebrity stuff. It's like they get rid of
the
that.
Celebrity game be just all them dudes be smoked out, drugged out. They just be getting cardio. Half of them not in shape.
Absolutely. Like get rid of the celebrity game. Give me a combined iteration.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Chris Brown cool.
Yeah.
All the other ones.
I would do a
international all-star game.
They definitely could do an international all-star game, especially for the kids that are going to be in the draft.
Yep.
The upcoming draft. There's a lot of stuff they can do. Because I didn't know how this in-season tournament was going to work, but it was very successful.
Now, successful in terms of the ratings or like it made the season better? Do you think it made the season better though?
Well, first of all, the players loved it. See, they're in partnership with the players.
Right.
So if the players
like it,
heck yeah, they were playing for $1 million apiece. You darn right they like it. Players are like, we didn't know. Like, you had teams like the Pacers that went undefeated until they played the Lakers in the finals, and they were like, we got up for every game.
Yeah,
on Friday nights. Like they knew it meant something. So, and that's a young team. So, and the Lakers got up. The Lakers wanted to win the first in-season tournament. So the players were into
it. They get banners for that.
Oh my God.
I guess it's a thing now. So
It
LeBron
is.
got what, 5 championships now?
First of all, relax in the chat. We did
What you
not say
mean?
combine. No, because they talking about no one wants to see Brittany Griner guard Embiid. We didn't say combine the All-Star game.
No.
We said combine some iteration of the snubs or either the rookie sophomore game.
Well,
That's
wait a
what we
minute.
said.
We might need a quarter where we combine them because they do a lot of trash talking and stuff on and sneak dissing the NBA players.
Mhm.
Like for instance, they did an all women's Olympic soccer team versus the retired men's soccer team just
Yeah.
for a game, just friendly exhibition.
Mhm.
So let's just get one quarter just to be like, okay, we did it.
Yeah.
See how it goes. LeBron might get a couple, yams out there.
Mhm.
And then it'd be like, okay, we tried it.
Yeah.
I don't think we just rule it out. I
Yeah.
mean, what are you talking about?
But yeah, it
Sky
was.
like cross up Steph, that's crossing up, just like
I
shooting.
read a great article, and they had a Sports Business Journal had a podcast on it. Dude, in-season tournament was a great success financially for the NBA. The
They'll
partnerships,
start putting it on packages like
the
college football.
partnerships, all of that stuff moving forward. They know what they need to improve. And Adam Silver said that. He was like, yo, we know what we need to change. We know what we need to do. All they cared about is whether or not the players bought in. Once they got the response from the
'Cause that's
players and the players union that, yo, 1 million was enough, and the prize money is probably going to continue to go up.
That's what I'm saying. 1 million is like, I feel like them players like, oh, that ain't
Dude, can you
nothing.
imagine, dude? There were players on the Lakers that didn't play a minute of the in-season tournament. They got a meal.
But their contracts is like 500, 600,000.
That's my point. It's
I'm
kind of
trying
like
to
that
think of
tournament.
how it's relative when these dudes already make millions.
That semi-pro tournament that they have, where they have, players, old school players from Syracuse, House of Pain is a team, old school Illinois players. They play each other in this big tournament, and whoever
That's
wins
cool.
the tournament,
That's cool. I thought
all the players get $1 million. It's like they took that. Really, what the NBA did is they took that concept, imported it into the beginning of the season, where, like somebody said, the ratings were low. The ratings at the beginning of the NBA season are always
low, except day.
That hasn't changed. But they found a way to monetize with low ratings. Tell me where they do that at. How do you monetize with low ratings? The NBA found out a way. It's brilliant.
I think they still try to take pieces from the big three. I do think it's cool.
Oh, yeah, the big three is a fantastic business model.
I think so.
Fantastic.
I do think it's cool how they did aesthetically, the court thing was kind of cool. It looked like an international field where they did the different color courts for the in-season tournament. I think that's something, especially just how the NBA, I think that's a LeBron thing where he just got all these different variations of Lakers jerseys. I didn't even know that was that many combinations. And just to see, the NBA trying different things. Hopefully the NFL gets on the jersey wave where they change up the jerseys all the time.
Yeah.
That's the next thing. NFL could be so much better, man. They just so traditionally non-traditional.
Now, I will say this, that they talking about the in-season tournament courts. In my opinion, some of them were horrible. Some of them were good.
Now, horrible, like it was too much color.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Some of them was kind of like, it's a lot. The red and blue, it was like, I think Philly had the super red and blue. It was like all red and blue.
And then I don't think the teams had control over the courts. I think all of the courts were designed by the same company through the NBA.
And that's could be a test run. Your first year, they probably tried 10,000 different things now,
Man, look, great success. And it goes to what we're talking about with Notre Dame and their independence, left. There are some things that, I've heard people screaming for Notre Dame to change the end zones, become more modernized. You'll never see ads in Notre Dame Stadium. That's not something that Notre Dame's going to do. You're not going to see placards plastered around Notre Dame Stadium.
We'll see a couple sponsors. Got that Coca-Cola sponsor, right?
Yeah, but you're not about to go into like the swamp and see it like plastered. Like, you won't see it like that. You just won't. Notre Dame, It's never going to go over the top.
We'll get commercialized now, though.
Yeah, but you would do it through the TV side. The
Okay.
aesthetic of the actual stadium, I don't think they'll go over top and mess
You
up
don't
the
think no
actual
sponsor
aesthetic.
gonna label they put the
No, no.
thing.
Because people could say what they want to. I've yet to talk to anybody from an opposing team that visited Notre Dame Stadium that said, "Oh, it's overrated." People that
Yeah,
usually
I
go
never heard
watch a
nobody
game,
say Notre Dame Stadium was just like, oh, it was like whatever.
no.
No, I never
Cat,
really heard that before.
Cats go to. I think Josh Pate, he was at the Ohio State game. So look, Josh Pate even said, "Look, man,
It's everything you.
that's a great venue.
Yeah, it's
It's a
everything
great
you
venue."
kind of imagine. Then you play at a nighttime. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame can provide those. I don't think we let down anybody on an aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys, especially on teams that never play Notre Dame, that come Notre Dame, they probably remember that trip.
Exactly. And that's why, when Georgia fans got the opportunity to come, they invaded. When Nebraska back in the day
When
got the
Oklahoma
opportunity to come,
came,
when
when
Oklahoma came,
Bulldozer, it was like 2012 or 2013.
yeah,
They was deep. That's when they first started saying, "Oh, Notre Dame just be selling out their tickets whenever they get people
mm-hmm.
coming in." I know Cincinnati fans loved it, and they won. They left with a win. So
Yeah.
we just need to make it an intimidating place. Make it one of the top 5 hardest places to go. If we can, do you think we can do that, or are we just too beautiful of a campus and we try too hard to cut the grass all the time?
I think the team can intimidate if Marcus Freeman gets the winning to a certain level. Like right now, I think he is changing the narrative for like back in the day, 5 years ago. I don't think Northern Illinois would have been scared coming into Notre Dame Stadium.
I mean, we win at home though. It's
But
not like we got a losing record at home or nothing.
dude, they were winning, but they were beating like Toledo by like 3 points.
Right. We beat
MAC teams, barely beat them.
Barely beat.
Marcus Freeman is taking it to the place now where it's like, if you're a MAC team,
we'll smack a team around.
Yeah, you're about to get that smack.
Yeah,
if you come to Notre Dame,
we ain't at Ohio State level where they bring on all these who care teams, and to the point where Ohio State can only play 2 games that are relevant before people be like, just hurry up and get to the end. With us, I don't know if that was a strategy, but even though we're supposed to mop these teams, we make it really close to the end. Maybe that's the entertainment value that Notre Dame has. That maybe that's what we need for TV. Who knows? But Marcus Freeman, the dominance factor, I think, is and should change. Just because recruiting is getting too damn good. I mean, come on now. How many top 5 classes can you end with before you start seeing the results on the field?
Yeah. I think that's one of the things moving forward. Like people in the chat, I agree with you guys, man. I don't know if you can get. I've been to a game in the big house, bro. I've been to a game in the big house as an Illinois fan that Illinois won. And it was the big house is a bucket list. Like, I don't care how much you hate Michigan, dude. If you love college football,
it's a bucket list.
You have to go watch a game in the big
Florida
house.
State, Texas, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon,
Neyland Stadium in Tennessee. It's a great atmosphere.
SC. That's about in the Rose Bowl, and that's about it. Shit, there's only a couple gotta go. Like college football fan, football player, you gotta play in them certain places.
Those are gotta go venues, man. I don't care how much you hate. Dude, I've been to the big house 5 times.
Every time is like pretty. It's just a good experience.
My first one was a Michigan State game back when the rivalry was like at its peak.
With a Paul Bunyan when they was doing the punt, kick, block, the thing where they had the crazy endings and shit. Yeah.
No, back when Bo Schembechler was still a coach.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was going to those games at the big house. Big house is crazy, man. It's a crazy atmosphere. And I sat in the student section one time. Banana. And I think somebody brought this up in the chat. The student population at Notre Dame is so much smaller that, yeah, you don't get that effect from certain student sections. Like the student section in Michigan is bananas. Student section at other schools, bananas. Notre Dame, with a smaller population, you don't get the same effect. You just don't get the same effect. So, but I still think my question is, how loud can Notre Dame Stadium get? How loud can Notre Dame Stadium get? Ohio State was pretty loud. We were there. The Ohio State game was I don't know if it was like Virginia Tech, Lane Stadium loud, but it was pretty loud. It was pretty loud. But it was good to see that Ohio State fans didn't take over the stadium. That was a good thing to see. That was a good thing to see. So the benefits of Notre Dame's independence, I think, are being reaffirmed. I think that might be the best way to say it. I think it had kind of waned a little bit, but I think it's starting to come back. I think it's starting to come back. And I think we're going to see Notre Dame be able to withstand any pressures to have to join a conference at least for 5 years. At least for 5 years. Now, once we get 5 years deep into this new era of college football expansion, the playoffs, we'll see. We'll see. Lucky Lefty podcast. All right, Left. That was a good talk about independence. It was funny because you brought it up. I was going to bring it up in transition, but absolutely, man, I think my love for the game of women's basketball came from the fact that in the Chicago basketball culture, there is no separation. The women's public league championship was played on the same day as the men's championship, right? You would get the semifinals on different days, and then you would get the junior varsity championship, the freshman championship, the junior varsity championship. Then you would get the women's championship and then the men's championship. So everything was inclusive, right? So we grew up watching it all. And then we grew up playing each other on the courts. Like there in Chicago, there is no, oh, she's a girl, she can't play. Like everybody to open gym is everybody. It's everybody. So the respect for the game and both sides of the game, like we would Morgan Park basketball players, especially my boy Monty Adams. Shout out to my boy Monty Adams out there in Scottsdale. We were backcourt mates, and we would play and then go watch Marshall and go watch Kim Williams, go watch, all of the great Marshall players, that went on for great success in the WNBA. We would go watch their games. We went and watched Cappy Poindexter, dude. Like, dude, Cappy that's a legend. So that's what I'm saying. When you grow up in Chicago, young boys hooping in Chicago grow up having idols that are actually female basketball players. Like, that's the norm. Like, Kim Williams was I'm like a freshman in high school. Like, yo, Kim Williams is dope. That's just the culture of basketball in Chicago.
So were the girls' games as packed as the guys' games? Is that what you're saying for high school? Were like the girls' games as packed and as hyped in the city as the guys' games in high school?
Morgan Park.
Simeon girls basketball?
The Morgan Park girls sold out every game. Morgan Park, the girls' team has been good longer than the boys' team.
It's interesting because I feel like that's the same for Notre Dame's women's basketball, but the fan base for Notre Dame's women's basketball is a much more niche. Like it's a different fan base. It's like those are like your loyal Taylor Swift fans. It's like they like Taylor Swift, but those like Taylor Swift got fans for real.
Yeah,
and that's like Notre Dame women's basketball. Those fans be like, yeah, I've been to every game for the last 25 years. The older kind of crowd, but real women's basketball fans. So it's, I think Notre Dame women's basketball can get a deal on his own, like a little network, because they can get enough content. I just think there's enough attraction there. I think Struz with wins, that's a likable team, man.
Yeah.
I watched them this weekend against North Carolina State.
Dude, they had a lead in the second half against Miami.
Against Miami, yeah.
But they just do. They
just
are small and thin and young. Yep.
They fall apart like by this much. But every game is like, yeah, I can see us winning this in the next couple of years for sure.
Yeah, Lucky Lefty podcast.
Shout out Marcus Burton, man. He a little. I don't know how to describe his game because he's not like Demetrius. He's not like Blake Wesley.
500 shots from behind the arc in the offseason a day. That's it. That's the only thing he needs to change, dude. Jim Boeheim said it. Jim Boeheim said it, dude. I'm gonna play that clip. I'm gonna grab that, but it is very niche and very different. Even when you see the pictures of the crowds, right? But Notre Dame basketball men's basketball gets a lot of love.
It gets a lot of love.
Now Syracuse was there. That was a big game. Syracuse beat Notre Dame at Syracuse early in the year, and they beat them last night. So this is what I'm talking about. That's the biggest thing, the biggest difference for Coach Ivy has proven that she can recruit the guard position.
Oh, I mean, look,
she has to go get the bigs, bro.
She's not. Yeah.
She has to go get the bigs, bro.
But we've never been known for bigs outside of Ruth Riley.
No,
known for bigs?
No. The young lady, because they had a All-American. She got injured a couple of times, but she was really key with Enrique. She held it inside down. Like she wasn't putting up like 30 points, but she was like a double-double machine.
Ooh.
She was a McDonald's All-American. She plays in the NBA still to this WNBA still to this day.
Ooh. During Enrique's time?
Yeah, she was on the squad. Matter of fact,
if it ain't Catherine Westbelt, I don't know who, because that was Enrique's team.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't say it wasn't Enrique's team. I'm just telling you that she was huge.
Oh, Jason Smith's right. We do need a big man defender on the missing. That's what I would say was missing too. We just missing that big. Like Duke got a big. The ACC got bigs. We just missing that one.
But then we said that the other day. Every time, and at the end of the game, the big man from Miami killed him. The big man from Boston College killed him. Every time they lose, the big man from North Carolina State killed him. Breonna Turner, thank you, Coach Vic. Breonna Turner was huge.
Turner. Yeah, that's right.
She was huge for that squad.
She's still playing. Shout out Breonna Turner. That was my Portuguese classmate. Tudo bem.
Oh, word. Okay. Yeah, Bree was huge for that squad, man. And when she came in,
she was hurt a lot.
She was hurt a lot. She was hurt a lot.
They get more grace in other sports about being injured. Them injuries, they'll go 2-3 years be injured. Still have a good career. Notre Dame football, man, you get injured a couple times. That might be it.
And like, yo, their efficiency is down offensively because, once again, dude, they're young. They can't close out games. And they don't have expanded games yet. Like, everybody, I love their defensive ability, dude. Their defensive ability is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we got the defense.
Absolutely.
It's just we just got it's like, man, our big man look like Kevin Durant. We gotta get some size on him, get him in that weight room program or something.
So
our facilities are banging. Now they got their own basketball facility now. Like, man, we're coming up.
Yeah. But Coach Larinaga, after the game the other night, was flat out like, yo, he was like,
they gonna be something.
He said, do you see the foundation this dude has laid?
Yeah.
Already? He was like, dude, they compete in every game. They got the best defense in the conference.
In ACC conference. That's basketball conference.
He said with freshmen and sophomores, they have the best defense in the conference. And he said they got the best freshman in the conference who has the highest usage rate in the conference, which means he has the ball in his hands more than anybody else, which means he makes good decisions as a freshman. He was like, all of this is coming back.
Coming back. Yeah, this is not the
That's
first
it.
and last time we seeing this.
That's
This is
it.
happening.
That's it. And if you can be upset with the losses, but if you can't see the change that's happening, then I don't know what else to tell you. I just don't. I don't. I don't. He just needs his players need to get better offensively. That's it. Once Marcus Burton gets, do you understand how tough he is to guard right now?
Right
In pick and
now,
roll, wait until he gets a 3-point shot.
because he can shoot off of the pick and roll though, not threes consistently, but he can create a shot. If we get dynamic big man rolling off of that,
Mm-hmm.
we don't really. All we need is maybe one or two top transfers, maybe to complement Marcus or to kind of be his sidekick, and then the big man. Oh, Shoes be calling them plays. He be having them sets. Yeah, I see the sets working.
I
Little
told
Shoes
you.
be in there. Little Shoes be in there coordinating the quarterback, and I like it.
Dude, I told you. He has some of the best out of timeout plays I've ever seen. Ever. And that's his NBA connection.
Like they can find a bucket. That's the
Yeah.
best part. It's like I don't. That's why they in every game. They don't just get blown out and be like, "Oh, they scheme got toasted." It's like, no, they scheme is what they scheme is. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep them in there. Now we just gotta get the players to kind of.
And like Coach Vic is right. Like, yo, she has, the New York kid, McDonald's All-American coming in as a big. That's fine. That's one. You got to have two. To beat LSU, dude, you got to have two.
Stanford always got bigs.
You know what I'm saying? They got Angel Reese. They got Morrow for LSU. And then they got a freshman that's bigger than both of them out of the Bronx. Rosario. You go to South Carolina, they got their two bigs, and then they bring in two more off the bench. And South Carolina is freshman and sophomore, dude. It is like, dude, you have to get to that level, bro. Like just having like, okay, we got one group of bigs. No, man, you got to be able to roll deep. And that's that next level, bro. Everybody's chasing because you do. Iowa, it took the greatest player in college basketball history, possibly, from a scoring standpoint, to take South Carolina down. And after they beat South Carolina, they got whooped by LSU. It's like,
yeah, because they got to repeat performances is too hard.
It's too hard, especially when you're going up against back-to-back teams like that with quality depth and talent. It is that women's basketball tournament. I know it might not excite people like the first and second round, but when you start getting to the Elite Eight, you're watching some good basketball, bro. And last night was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And so all South Carolina did, they came out in the second half, Lefty. You brought it up. They just came out and guarded. That's all they did.
They really did.
They didn't come out and just hit a bunch of shots. They came out and guarded LSU, and all of a sudden, dude, all of a sudden, Haley Van Leaf, she was going through her legs in the first half doing all that. They came out, picked her up full court. She disappeared. It's like, dude, it's a different level that you have to take it to, and she'll get the talent and they'll take it to that level.
Winning brings it all together. That's what the best part is.
Yeah. But the game this is not Louisville. No disrespect. When you're at Louisville and you're playing Maryland and Duke, yeah, Notre Dame is a top echelon team. But South Carolina comes to town, Haley Van Leaf, this is totally different, yo. They got Raven Johnson, Pow, the other freshman coming off the bench. They got 3 guards that can guard you 94 feet from start to finish. And they all took turns.
Raven Johnson is the one, though. That's the one. She's the one.
She was the one that came in. She's the one that came in.
Athleticism.
She came in against Iowa as a true freshman and put up like 14.
Yeah, she got that like quick, big, like she's nice. Raven, yeah, she's nice.
Man, Lucky Lefty podcast. When we come back, we'll jump into the newest linebacker offer for Notre Dame. Left is going to like the film, and I'm going to withhold some important information until he watches the film. Because if I tell him before he watches the film, he's going to be biased. I already know. Lucky Lefty podcast. We spin it different. We're back at it. Lucky Lefty podcast. ONORA boys in the building. Tap in with us on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button. We appreciate it. Leave your comments, man. Leave your comments. We respond to all. Notification bell. Every time we go live, you'll know. Audio edibles each and every day on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Home of the Misguided Passion. Subscribe, download, help us out. And then on the weekend, Irish Breakdown is going to distribute on his feed the top 4 segments of the week. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. You already know CFB Nation. We spin it different. Brand new offer at linebacker. Now, I will tell you this. The kid is a Georgia kid, love. He is 6'1", 225 already as a linebacker. 6'1", 225. There's some kids currently on the roster at Notre Dame that are 6'1", 220, bro. Trying to gain weight. Antoine Deslauriers out of Gap, Raven, Georgia. Left. This kid, his film is impressive. Remember we talked about how important it is to make sure that people that actually produce your film are good? He had the right people helping him with his film. And this kid, once again, 77 tackles last year, 3 sacks, 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. Yo, he's a really good athlete. Constantly, look at that. Constantly in the backfield is what you're going to see. 6'1", 225, Gap Raven, Georgia, Gap Raven High School. Instincts, quick to the ball, can get to the ball inside, outside, and he loves to deliver a blow when he gets to the ball carrier. You have to love what you see from this young kid, Antoine Deslauriers. Had a chance to talk to him last night. He got his offer from Max Bullock, who has been the primary recruiter on the road this week. Most people feel like that's because, the NFL is, I can tell you now, I heard from people that the Chicago Bears reached out to Al Golden for their defensive coordinator.
That's a lazy hire. He right down the street.
Well, you know, they were at the game. Well, they were at the game. You have to think about it. They were at the game against USC to watch Caleb, and they saw that performance, and were like, okay, we got to put this dude on our radar.
And it's like, you know, it makes sense. And it's good for Al Golden to have those options because the man really been putting in good work. It was a great hire from the start, and it's turned out to be a really good foundation for Marcus Freeman. Hopefully Marcus Freeman can build on that while he can. You know, that's the whole thing. Hopefully he can build on it before it's too late.
You know what I like? He's a sure tackler, Left. This kid is a sure tackler. That's number 1. And number 2, good angles. Remember we talked about Notre Dame linebackers taking the wrong angles, not scraping over the top properly, you know, coming down too far, giving up the backside and giving up the cutback runs. You know, you watch this young man. He's very sound, very sound. Runs about a 4.59 right now. Probably is going to get faster.
Yeah, you just love the fact that he's got a motor. He doesn't have any fear. He's going to run through the tackle. And his instincts looks pretty good. You know, he doesn't look as explosive. It's like one of those like guys that's just going to get to the football, not like a Jalen Smith, but more of like a methodical way he goes about it. I don't see like the pop, but I do see, like you said, a surefire tackle and a guy that's not hesitant. So the best things about him is that he's going to make the tackle. He's not hesitant. From a trait standpoint, does he like flash? Like, oh shoot, he electric. I wouldn't say he's electric, but I think he can work really well in the run game, getting off blocks. He looks like he has great technique. I mean, you really see a rip and run. Like you don't just see him just doing whatever. He knows his moves, and That consistency is what you want, and he's got the size. So, like you said, a guy that's going to do his job, be where the ball's supposed to be, and have maximal effort. This is a guy you can plug and play, like you see on here, special teams early, work his way into the 2-3 deep, and then see him on some tough run plays. Some run defense looks. I think that's where you start him out at. I wouldn't put him in space. Hell no. I'd keep him right in that middle. I wouldn't even let him guard no tight ends. If we got him in, sitting through the hole like a bat out of hell, and then if we got these running backs that pop in, that's where he comes in. Shut all that running back 100 yards a game stuff down.
This young man is excited to get to Notre Dame. I spoke to him last night, and he flat out said with an exclamation point, yo, no clear-cut plans, but, yo, we're talking about getting me on campus very soon. So he's excited to get to campus. And once again, Max Bullock has been out on the road, man, really connecting with the linebackers. And, he has to be on the road. He has to be on the road. He has to, because the NFL right now, yeah, they're coming after Al Golden. But I'm going to do a solid for Notre Dame fans and the Notre Dame football program right now. Put the camera on me right now. Hold on, Left. Just 1 second. This quick PSA. Bear with me, Left. Al Golden, look here, man. You don't want no parts of the Chicago Bears, bro. You hear me? I don't care what bag they give you. There is nothing at Hallis Hall that can compare to what you already have at South Bend.
Oh, man.
Don't you make that mistake. They're liars.
Oh, man.
They're manipulators. They're a bad organization. How do you go from Marcus Freeman and what you guys have established to that load of crap? Don't you do it. Your wife will be miserable. If your wife just wants to hit the Magnificent Mile, hey, you can just rent her a driving service and send her up every weekend. Don't you do it. You get more bang for your buck in Indiana. Your crib is probably dope. The same money you spending down in South Bend, you try to spend that up there by Hallis Hall and Lake Forest, man, you're going to end up with a nice condo, my brother. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. This has been a PSA from an honest Chicagoan and an honest Chicago Bears fan to Al Golden. Stay your tail in South Bend. Lucky Lefty podcast.
Oh, man.
There you go, Left. That's how you help. That's how, Notre Dame fans. I try.
Not the PSA.
Hey, man.
I agree. I think, the thing about Notre Dame is when you get in good, you get comfortable. And I think it is more of a trap. Maybe that the allure of that new stadium in New Arlington. Maybe it's the fact that not only do you have football at this new stadium, you got concerts, events. You can tour around. You can work out over there. Maybe he just want to be a part of the up and ups. Be a part of the Jetsons, not the Flintstones. Is there a place where he can see the future at? I mean, hey, they get Caleb Williams. He's like, oh, wow, y'all got some pieces. Ryan Poole said, we're going to roll out a nice $50 million contract. Them schools ain't paying that money over there. I don't know, man. Our golden stock is rising, though, and that's one, because he's at Notre Dame, and two, he's doing a hell of a job.
So that's it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, the world is coming after, the NFL world is coming after Al Golden. Max Bullock is on the road, doing a great job recruiting. New offer, Antoine Deslauriers, not ranked. Really good film. He hasn't been ranked by the recruiting services yet. There's a reason for that, Left. There's a reason. Relax. I had to say this because if I had told you this up front, you would have been biased. Okay?
What do you mean? How are we offering dudes that, first of all, aren't ranked? What does that even mean?
Left. Relax, man. Relax.
Sean, how do you find somebody that's not even ranked All these people we got working in this office, we going to guys that ain't ranked.
Can you let me finish?
Oh my goodness.
See, LL Nation, this is why I say certain information until after the film. Because I already know I had to get some analysis out of him. Because if I had told him certain aspects, the analysis would have been he would have chosen not to participate, pretty much. This young man is from Canada.
Canada.
This is his first season playing in the States.
First season
At a top-notch high school in the state of Georgia, Gap Raven.
Oh my God.
That's why he's not ranked. He hasn't had a chance to hit the circuit yet. He'll do that this summer.
Hasn't had a
And
chance.
he'll get
How
his
old is
rank.
he?
I didn't ask him how old he was, love.
Why? These be the questions. What is the interest in a first year Canadian playing football? First year?
Left. I think you're being a little bit disrespectful.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You're being disrespectful to Canadian football.
Not. So what am I being in Notre Dame? Fair? Reasonable?
Dude, you're a former Notre Dame player, dude. So your love and attachment is on a different level. So
I'm just saying I don't know where this lies in the whole building this top class from. Because I'm sure a no star can't even add to the average. It's not even adding to the cumulative recruiting score on the rankings. This is just this is the asterisk. He has nothing to add to the
left. Has he committed to the University of Notre Dame? Has he even been on campus yet? Relax, man.
Even if
relax,
he doesn't raise or lower the ranking.
Do you like Sean Sevillano? Do you like Sean Sevillano? Answer the question. Do you like Sean Sevillano? Do you like Sean Sevillano as a player? Do you like Sean Sevillano?
Yeah.
Answer the question.
Okay. Answer
the question.
Yes, we like.
Okay.
Sean Sevillano, yes. Even if he committed today, because he's no stars, we wouldn't.
I didn't say, first of all, that's not correct. I didn't say he was no stars. I said they have not been able to rank him because he just came over. You get your ranking during the summer, during the spring and summer, dude.
Oh, Jesus. Just came over. How did we get over there? That's the question.
No,
just
he's playing high school.
Don't mean
bro, he's playing high school in Georgia. What do you mean? How are we getting over there?
How we getting first year players is just crazy. Because usually, as a top program, you on the back end of some players that are coming up in the rankings. You at least let another couple schools offer first. We be discovering people like we archaeologists. We ain't got to dig that far, guys. You done found an unranked guy in Georgia that nobody's ever heard of. He ain't even ranked. We know him before the recruiting services. Why? I mean, I guess it's hard to get good players, but my goodness, man. If Kirby don't know about the dude, he in Georgia.
You're sounding prejudiced. You're prejudiced against Connecticut. You're prejudiced against Canadian players.
That's not prejudice. If he in Kirby backyard, the king of defense, and Kirby ain't even been to a school, what are we talking about?
Who said Kirby hasn't been to a school?
I ain't heard it. Have you heard it?
I just said who said. I mean, he has offers from Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Florida State, Missouri, Miami, Auburn, Ole Miss. I mean, it's not like Notre Dame was his first offer, his first big time offer. So you can sit here and say all you want to. Everybody else is down there like, oh, dude can play. So, see, that's why I saved all that information for after the film, because I already knew.
The film told me. That's why I said something's off about the kid. He don't
You
look.
didn't see, no, you didn't say anything
I
was
said he
off about
don't
it.
give off no real
You said he
athleticism.
didn't pop.
And you know why? Because he ain't American. It
What in
makes
the world?
sense.
Left.
It
What is
makes
that?
sense.
What is going on?
That's why I knew it was. Okay, I'm like, okay. He don't play like a football player. He play like a rugby player. That's why it don't translate. You know how you see
So Chase Claypool was trash.
No. Chase, we taught Chase how to play football.
Okay, so this young man can't be taught how to play football.
I'm only speaking on the film. On the film, it didn't look like a high school kid that I'm like, okay, yeah, it looked like out of the ordinary. He was good. Yeah, I said he made time. He's a sure tackler. He's not hesitant. That's very true. But he didn't move like a linebacker that grew up playing football. You know what I mean? Sometimes, when you
I'm gonna get you a nice black and orange hat. Yes, we're gonna get this is a t-shirt and a hat. It's gonna be RAP. RAP. Recruit American players. That's left. Recruit American players. That's coming to the merch store soon. Yes, that's gonna be the RAP hat, trucker hat with the RAP t-shirt.
It's
left.
Okay. Like, I'll give an example. Like when Chase came and played his first couple practices, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So when Chase came off the ball to block, right? His version of blocking wasn't blocking like you would see in everyday football. You could tell it was like, oh, he got to, it's different for him. So we got to it was raw. It's like you ever see a dude try something for the first time and he may be good, but you like those dudes that be super strong in the gym. You be like, how much can you lift, bro? He be like, I don't even know. Then he put 315 on it. He just starts repping it like 5 times. And everybody's like, wow, I didn't even know you can lift. He said, I didn't know either. Right? It's like Chase. Chase went out there, blocked the dude, but like, what in a regular block? It was like, dude did a sumo plex, threw him out the club, like almost had to press charges. Right? And we like, Chase, that's not blocking. That's assault. So, but it's man, I don't know if y'all know what I mean. It didn't look, all I'm saying is it looked like it was he hasn't been playing for a long time.
He hasn't.
That's all I'm saying. It looks like it. It just looks like he hasn't been playing for a long time. I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm not saying that he can't tackle. But for Notre Dame to recruit guys at this stage of the program who has barely played enough football to even know the potential.
Let me ask you a question.
I just don't know.
If Mike Mickens had given him an offer, what would you say?
The same thing. Because Mike Mickens would never.
No, you wouldn't.
Mike
No,
Mickens
you
would
wouldn't.
never.
No, you wouldn't. Stop. Stop.
Mike Mickens recruit Canadian corners.
When you first saw Carson Hobbs film,
Wait a minute.
when Carson Hobbs first as a 3-star, you looked at his film, you were like,
Mike Mickens would never
and
ever.
now
ever
you're like, I can't wait to see Carson Hobbs
a Canadian corner. Mike Mickens would never ever.
You can't say that. You can't say that. If one is good enough, he would.
He wouldn't go up there.
No, don't make that's because you have prejudices.
I'm saying,
don't make Mike Mickens sound like he has prejudice.
It's not a prejudice.
I didn't say. I said
Mike
it
Mickens
is.
not taking a first-time corner.
It is prejudice
from
to
Canada.
say we shouldn't recruit Canadian players.
No. I'm not saying we shouldn't recruit. I'm saying for a kid to have very limited football experience, it's surprising to see Notre Dame recruit kids who have barely scratched the surface. Only because why do we need to do that? I'm not saying that he's not a good recruit. I'm not saying that we can't go to Canada. I'm just saying, how do we get up there that fast? That's all. I would think that we taking guys, when you vet the process, when you even getting hired for a job, you're not going to take a guy that just started the job 6 months ago.
Is Notre Dame alone?
It's not about other.
Wait, no, because this is about evaluation, right?
Yes.
Is Notre Dame the only big time program that's offered this
No,
kid?
it's not.
Okay then.
But it's not about them.
I can see if the man had offers from Florida A&M, Howard,
we get those guys too. No,
and then all of a sudden, here comes Notre Dame with an offer. Okay,
no, we do
cool.
that. No, we do that. We do that.
Not anymore. That hasn't happened in a long time.
It hasn't happened, but we do that. We'll pull one of them. The Ben Minich safety. He was a
no. Ben Minich. They were recruiting they were there at games recruiting his teammate who went to Ohio State.
Went to Ohio State, yes.
And he was making more plays than him. And that's how Ben Minich got on the radar.
Ben Minich had some of the same offers we talked about before he got that Notre Dame.
Okay, but see, that's apples and oranges. That's them actively recruiting a 5-star. They weren't there for him.
Right. I'm saying
he made so many plays. He made so many plays that you couldn't avoid the fact that he was a good player.
Yeah, that's relative. Because if that was the case, he would have the offers of the Canadian linebacker. He didn't have the big offers like the Canadian linebacker. He had Max Schools. He had
totally different. That's
totally different. I'm just saying we fell into his.
Dude, for some reason, this dude is standing out in Georgia to SEC schools, and you're mad that Notre Dame followed the rest of the SEC.
No, I'm mad Notre Dame is taking guys with limited experience in playing football. Why are we taking freshman football players?
Experience me. How did they turn out for Chase Claypool at Notre Dame?
Chase played. Okay, wait a minute. Chase played football before. You saying this dude's first year in American football?
I said it was his first year playing in the States. He played in Canada before he came. Dude, you just got too many biases against Connecticut. It's the letter C. It's the letter C.
Let's do some projection. What do you think his contribution will look like in his first 2 years? Do you think he's going to be a starter? Do you think he's going to play over the guys that we have right now? Because that's what it's about. Is he going to play over Drake Bowen and Jaden Alsbury? Do you see that projection? Because that's what I'm basing it off of. Is he better than the guys got coming in or guys that are already there? I don't think so.
Let me ask you a question.
First-year football player is going to overcome a Jaden Alsbury.
Would you have a problem with him being the floor at Notre Dame at linebacker? If that's the worst linebacker you got in the room, do you have a problem with that?
Well,
just answer the question. If that's the worst linebacker you have in the linebacker room, do you have a problem with that?
If you're not playing, yeah, I got a problem with it.
How? That's special teams. That's special teams in every other place.
But you agree, if you're not pushing somebody out, if you just there because you are from Canada at that point, what are you there for? If you're not there,
wait a minute. What do you think? Wait a minute. Let's be honest.
What are we there for?
Let's be honest. Before they got the opportunity, due to poor recruiting,
like Boateng, I think Boateng played.
Stay with me, Left, because I'm about to say something that most people. Let's be real.
Okay.
Because of lack of recruiting at the end of Brian Kelly's tenure at the position, J.D. Bertrand and Jack Kaiser got the opportunity to play. In a normal Notre Dame recruiting cycle, Jack Kaiser and J.D. Bertrand don't become the starters they become.
Wait, what's the normal recruiting cycle? Marcus Freeman style is not
normal.
That's not normal.
No. I'm talking about early Kelly, the linebacker position.
Early Kelly, the linebackers were good.
Yes.
Because Diaco was there. I mean, linebackers never not been good.
Absolutely.
Diaco was there, it was different.
So if they, in their young careers, if they were involved in the normal Brian Kelly early linebacker cycle or Marcus Freeman linebacker cycle, Jack Kaiser and J.D. Bertrand would have been the floor in the linebacker room. You know what that means, Left? Special teams, leadership. That's important.
Just because you're the floor don't make you a leader, though, either.
Dude, just because you're a 5-star don't make you a leader either.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, we can't just throw attributes to players because they're not playing to suggest that they have value in other places. You can just not be what everybody else is in the room, and that's fine. I think that J.D. Bertrand and Jack Kaiser wouldn't be recruited with the linebackers today.
Probably not. That's a fair assessment. Probably not, right? Because first of all, they were small. The one thing about this kid, I would say, that attracts him to probably attracts him to top programs is that dude from a size standpoint can play right now.
Size, the size. Yeah, that's what I said. The size, he got it. He got that Jaden Osbury 230 coming in, something like that. But when we compare recruiting films and we look at Owusu's brother, not because it's the 5-star, but because of the impact he's making on the film. That's a trait. The other kid is like he's got what you want, but it's like a hollow. Dak Prescott, you look at his stat sheet, throw 400 yards. But 400 yards.
Okay, wait a minute. If I get Dak Prescott from this kid, I'm cool with that. If he ends up in Notre Dame and he gives me a Dak Prescott performance in Notre Dame at the linebacker position,
it's not good enough.
I said I'm cool with that.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know that doesn't mean he's going to be starting. You got Drake, you got KVA,
that's what I'm saying. We got
KVA, we got okay, fine. Everybody can't be a 5-star in the linebacker room, bro. This ain't Alabama, unfortunately.
Who's not? Who's not a 5-star right now in that linebacker room?
Jack Kaiser.
That's an old regime. We talk about
no. He's there now. He's coming back. He's not a 5-star. You asked me a question. I just answered the question.
In there, though.
You asked me a question.
Yeah, okay. We know that
Drake Bowen's not a 5-star.
In that room, if it was Marcus
Drake Bowen's not a 5-star.
Drake Bowen he got downgraded. He was supposed to be a 5-star.
Jaden Osbury's not a 5-star.
Jaden Osbury plays like a 5-star. He should have been.
And you asked me who are 5-stars.
They're all.
Preston Zinter is a very solid linebacker, very good linebacker. He's not a 5-star. He's right along the same lines of this kid from a talent standpoint. That's it, Left. That's it. I'm just trying to get you to open your eyes, man. I don't know why your heart is so hard towards the sea, Connecticut and Canada, bro. You just, man.
Talking objectively, first-year football players, man. Come on.
That's his first year in the States. He's been playing football his entire life, man. Why that keeps going over your head? He's no different than Sean Sevillano. He came to Florida to play in the States after playing in Canada. What's the difference? You like Sean Sevillano.
I like what Sean Sevillano's talking about. Me and you both like what Sean Sevillano's talking about. Yeah, he could be a good, but the attitude, we like that. That's what we like about Sevillano.
Hey, Notre Dame has a great international academic program, and now they got a great international athletic program. That's all left. I guarantee you wouldn't have a problem. Wait. I guarantee you wouldn't have a problem with Shrews or Nier.
That's what I was about to say. If we brought a Luka Doncic in basketball, hell yeah. I was about to say that. I'm like, Shrews get us a Luka. Oh, hell yeah, I'm with that. Oh, yeah, we're going to be on top. I'm all for it.
So it's just football. See, I knew
it is just football. It is
just football.
If we got a Luka, I'll be at every game.
That's crazy.
Shrews can do it, man. Believe in Shrews, man. International players. But they say, Antoine Jameson said yesterday, they ain't got no fundamentals here. They don't know how to set no pick and rolls now.
Hey. Fundamentals are important, and he has a year in the offseason to get better, faster. He already has the size. SEC programs are in on him. And I'm sure once he gets his ranking after the summer circuit, because he's going to eventually be ranked after the summer circuit, you'll probably see Kirby check in on him. I just don't understand the disrespect for Connecticut and Canada, bro.
It's not disrespect.
That's why, you know what? Now that's why you shade Chicago, because it starts with a C. I got it now.
I don't know.
I got it now.
Radio Chicago. The Connecticut it didn't make sense. That's all. It didn't make sense. The recruitment did not make sense. That's all.
What doesn't make sense about Connecticut? They got the best piece. They got the best pizza. They got the best pizza in the world.
Who we recruited from Connecticut didn't make sense for what the team needed. And it was an indictment on the guy that was bringing him in, not on him specifically. Drew Pine's a fine football player.
This explains this explains everything. Well, I learn more and more about my partner every day. Now I understand why you stick to the same restaurants, bro.
What is
you're not open to new experiences, dude.
Why are we trying new experiences when we know what works? That doesn't make no sense.
There it is. There it is. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is why he'll hit Wingstop and Chipotle 3 times a week. This is why he's going to hit Starbucks every day.
The recipe for a Connecticut quarterback going to a top 5 program and winning a championship? When has that ever been the recipe?
I mean, you give me a chance to go and research, I'll find some great Connecticut players. I'm sure there are guys in the Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame from Connecticut. I'm sure there are guys from Connecticut.
Not that played quarterback at Notre Dame.
Why are you talking about quarterback? Who said anything about quarterback?
That's what I was referring to.
Oh, you're throwing shade at Drew Pine. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah, but Drew Pine was a 4-star out of Connecticut, bro.
Listen, the position in which we recruited out of
Connecticut, I see what you quietly try to do there. You quietly try to throw shade.
Do with the state of Connecticut. In my opinion, I don't think the state of Connecticut holds a quarterback that can bring the talent to Notre Dame specifically and win a championship. I haven't seen it. That's all I'm saying.
So you're going to punish the other positions in Connecticut? The offensive linemen in Connecticut?
No, we're not punishing that. It's just when we, as a recruitment staff, sat in there and we're delineating areas.
Marcus Freeman recognized that and immediately got rid of that Connecticut quarterback. You do recognize that, right?
I'm just saying, before we made the decision to get rid of it, we also made the decision to say, you know what? Maybe New Hampshire, Massachusetts, all that stuff up there got us a championship quarterback. That decision and idea that floated in the room, that's the
old regime. That's not this regime, Left. Why are you punishing this regime?
It's not this regime. I'm just saying that's the problem I had with the Connecticut connection. To float the idea that the championship is going to come from Connecticut at the quarterback position, that I don't think that's the right mindset to carry when you're talking recruiting. Now, the new regime, we said we're going for the straight top. We're going for the straight top. The ones you heard about. We're not looking to this is not America's Got Talent, where we're trying to discover the next big thing. We're not discovering nothing. We're going off of what we know we can win. And if we get in the top 5 quarterbacks in the class every year, that's on point. A CJ Carr on point. Deuce Knight on point. Makes sense. Kenny Minchie, I like it because he got the gonads to go.
I mean, name me the Heisman All-Pro quarterback from Mississippi.
The talent is there. We said top 5 in the class.
I just said, and what you always avoid the question.
It's not avoiding the question. I don't have
you said name the quarterback list in front of me. So basically, Deuce is one of one from the state of Mississippi that can come to Notre Dame. He's one of one. Okay, name me the Mississippi quarterback
in his class in the country. If he wasn't top in his class in the country, he wouldn't be one of one. He'd be another guy in Mississippi.
So my point is, don't stop acting like the state of Mississippi produces quarterbacks that can just come to Notre Dame and win every year, based upon what you're talking about.
I'm saying the top 5 quarterback in the class. Drew Pine wasn't the top 5 quarterback in the class.
No, he was a Tommy type. We've talked about that.
Well, I'm just comparing it. It's not about the state necessarily. It's about the talent coming from that state. The talent that Deuce Knight got is the top in the country. We can take that. If Drew Pine was 6'5", 200 pounds, ran a
So basically
4.3,
what you're saying to the people in the state of
for
Connecticut is
5,000
that
yards.
you're telling the state of Connecticut and their people that they're incapable of producing a top-notch, top-5 quarterback. That's what you're telling them.
You said who's incapable?
You're telling the state of Connecticut and the people who live there that they're incapable of producing a top-5 talent at the quarterback position.
No, I think we're incapable at that time as a program to go to Connecticut and find what we were looking for that could really help us. And it was too niche of an experience to go up there and do that. That was a specific thing we did. It wasn't like a hotbed. It's not like when Urban Meyer recruits his skilled players, he's not going to New Hampshire. That's not a hotbed. What do you mean? He know where to go. So I'm saying, why did we not go to the hotbed? And if it's not the hotbed, you got the top 5 talent.
Wasn't there a quarterback after you decided to come to Notre Dame? Wasn't there a quarterback that Urban Meyer eventually took that was ranked behind you?
Wait, say that one more time.
After you decided to come to Notre Dame and said no to Urban Meyer, didn't Urban Meyer then go to a quarterback that was ranked behind you?
As to say what?
My point, because you're talking about talent, right? Most people said he was a less talented quarterback than you. I'm talking about JT Barrett.
Okay, what are we saying?
Because you're talking about talent. Most people will look at JT Barrett.
Has more talent than Drew Pine.
My point is, most people will look at JT Barrett and say, "Yo, he's not talented enough to win games at Ohio State," but he did.
If you with Urban, shoot, man, you lucky, man. You got a good opportunity.
Okay,
to be at the right place at the right time in life.
So this kid was so Antoine Deslauriers with Al Golden can't be a good player.
Antoine Deslauriers, Al Golden. I mean, there's got to be a partnership there.
I'm a point guard left, so I'm sitting up here setting you up. Maybe you don't see that I'm setting you up when I'm asking these questions. I mean, that's what I do. I'm the podcast PG. That's what I do. I'm PPG.
How is it a bad argument?
I'm just saying.
Okay,
so JT Barrett, talent-wise, was a guy that most people are like, yo, he can't win a big-time program because of his talent. You can look at this young guy and Al Golden and Max Bullock see something that they feel we can get out of it.
I saw it too. I said he's a sure tackler and he's got the size right now. That's all I said. I said the same thing that Al Golden probably saw and probably what we need to add to the team, a sure tackler and a guy that's got the size that can play day one. I agreed on that part.
Okay. You did. You
agreed on that.
You did say that. You did say that. You did say. You just didn't see the Boateng. His film is not going to look like Nathaniel Owusu Boateng, bro. It's
okay. So if it don't look nothing like it, why is it so opposite?
Why were you expecting that? The dude has a French Canadian last name, dude.
Who? Boateng?
Did you expect it? No, Antoine Deslauriers. Did you actually expect his film to look like Nathaniel Owusu Boateng?
I expected Marcus Freeman to recruit top talent all the time.
Who's to say he's not top talent if SEC schools are after him?
All I'm saying is there's a difference between Owusu's film and the other kid's film. There's a difference.
Dude, I want you to look back and watch this show. As soon as I said first year playing in Georgia and Canadian, your entire face and analysis totally changed on the kid.
Because it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense.
Lucky Lefty podcast. I tried to help him out today, fans. I tried to help him out. He has an issue with geographically with places that begin with the letter C. That's why he throws shade at Chicago. I get it now. But we've had a great show today, man. Check me out. We're going to be on the recruiting hour. We're going to be talking about the wide receiver position, what it means, what Mike Brown has brought, what Mike Denbrock has brought. We're going to chop it up, talk about all of that. We got some GTB questions. If you have a GTB question, make sure you put it in the chat. This one is from NC Notre Dame fan SHAUN and MALIK. Do you think Don Staley can coach men's basketball? Absolutely. Don Staley, Tara Vanderveer, rest in peace, Pat Summitt, Gino Oriema. I think they all. Gino's been on the men's staff, I think a couple of times during camp. So I absolutely think she can coach men's basketball. Coaching basketball has nothing to do with gender, dude. If you can relate to the players, you can coach. Coach Vic, Malik, what are the quarterback stats? I don't. Coach Vic might have been talking about the Canadian quarterback. He was talking about Drew Pine. That's who he was talking about. Michael Parks, Malik. I had to con him with the film before I said anything about the young man and gave some important facts. There was no way I was going to get the good analysis. Mark with glasses, what's the best board game to play? I got categories as the GOAT. Best board game to play. I'm a Monopoly guy. I've always been a Scrabble Monopoly guy. Scrabble and Monopoly. I grew up playing my mother in Scrabble. So that was always my go-to. What's the game with the dice is in the middle and like this little bubble and you push it down? And is that Trouble? Trouble was cool. And Clue, as a shorty, I had fun playing Clue to figure out, it was this person in the library with the knife, That was a cool game.
Yeah, I think it's called Sorry. It's
called Sorry?
Sorry or it's one of the two, because that's a game right there. You get to jump over your things, and you got to go back home, and you got to build. Yeah. That's
yeah. See, I'm an old soul when it comes to board games because I grew up playing with
old soul. Though board games is where it's at, man. That's like.
But I played with adults. I didn't play with like other kids. Like I played. My aunt was the one that taught me backgammon. So I always played against her.
Okay, that's
always played against her. Always played against my dad. Right. I learned card games from older people. Unks and uncles. Monopoly. My dad got us into playing Monopoly. Growing up,
it was the base consoles and stuff coming out.
But that was also family time as well. Board games. That was like
exactly before the game consoles.
Okay. That was like bonding time. So most of the time you were being taught by somebody older. Like I didn't sit up with my boys in high school like, yo, let's play Monopoly. Nah, it was usually somebody older that was teaching me the game, showing me the game that I competed against. And that's what really made it fun, being able to beat somebody that was older. So
it's where competition starts.
Yeah. Because I couldn't, man. I've gotten better, but I was not a good loser as a kid. Were you a good loser?
What makes a good loser? I can't be no good loser because it's never because of me though. It's the reaction of the winner. That's what makes me not a good loser. It's I don't want to play again. You suck. That whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not being a gracious loser. I mean, you lose, you lose. It's the you can't control how a winner wins.
Hold on for a second. So this became
Chinese marbles, Chinese checkers.
No. This became my favorite board game. It was All-Star Baseball. So I'll show it to you. It was a dope game. Everybody in my neighborhood was huge baseball fans. So we literally put together like.
Wait, like y'all all White Sox fans or just the baseball in general?
Just baseball in general. So we put together a league. Because there was a lot of boys in my neighborhood, bro. We put together a league. And this game right here is called All-Star Baseball. It comes equipped. And I'll show you, you have this little thing you spin, right? And so you have a baseball card. This is Roger Clemens, for example, right? And like each number you spin and the number it lands on, denotes whether or not you got a single, a double, a triple, a home run, a fly out, a ground out. Dude, this game took up our entire summer. We kept stats. We came together and voted on who made the all-star team. Dude, I still have, this is how much this game meant to me in my childhood, bro.
Yeah.
I have 3
Y'all
versions
had like
of it.
a legend.
Yes, we kept, everybody was responsible for keeping their stats during the game. We played 9 inning games.
So this is before fantasy came out.
Yes, this is the first fantasy game back for baseball back in the 90s. All-star baseball. It's a collectible, bro. And like I said, I lived in a neighborhood where like all the families had majority boys, dude. I think my boy next door, LJ, he had a sister. And then this other guy, he had a sister named Kelly. 90% of the people in my neighborhood were boys. And for some reason, that pocket, we had very few girls, dude. So we had like 10 people in the league, 5 teams in each division. We did an all-star game. And then like I would get 2 innings. If I was in first place in the division, I got 2 innings in the all-star game. Second place got 2 innings. And then the next people would get 1 inning to spin. I'm telling you, dude, we had stats. It was crazy. I actually have 3 versions of the game to this day. And I taught my nephews how to play.
3 versions of the game?
Yeah, I have three of these. Like what I showed you, I have one of the older version, and then they came out with a newer version, like a collector's edition.
Man, hell yeah, that's so dope. And you still kept them around. Do you ever try to play?
Yeah. This is the Hall of Fame collector's edition.
Oh, this is like the what they would call upgrades. Like you get a 99.
Yeah. Like this game was huge. Yeah, this is back in like the golden age of baseball when it was America's pastime. Like everybody was loving baseball. This game right here literally took over our neighborhood, bro. Like we had seasons until like.
Can you still play?
Heck yeah, I play with my nephews. They create. You can buy the updated cards because the player cards for this game, they make them, and you can buy them off eBay every year. So you can bring current players.
They update the player cards.
Yes, you can use the current player cards for current players like a Ronald Acuna. I can go to eBay and get his card right now and play it on this game. This is one of the greatest board games of all time, dude. All time. Like this is my Hall of Fame edition. As you can see, this is like Dave Stewart, Dan Plesac, Dave Cone. Some of the players I haven't even taken out because this is for me. This is like a collector's item. You got Vince Coleman, Will Clark, Andres Galarraga, Gerald Perry, Sean Dunston, Barry Larkin, Glenn Davis, Vince Coleman, Ozzie Smith, to name a few. On the backside is Jose Canseco, Joe Carter, Mike Greenwell, Terry Steinbach, Carlton Fisk, and Harold Baines. You know.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the Hall of Fame. It's the Greg Maddux right here. So this is untouched.
So did y'all have a draft?
Yes. And Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth went 1 and 2 in every draft.
That's just automatic.
Yeah. Hank Aaron, they had the biggest home runs. The home run was number 1. They had the biggest home runs. And then 7 and 13 represented singles on the game. Usually Tony Gwynn ended up going like 3rd or 4th in the draft because his singles and his double were like ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. Let me see if I can like show you like. We'll get out of here. I'm sorry, man. The board question kind of got me excited, dude. Let's see if I can find like. Oh, here's Matt. Here is. I'll do this right now. Here's Babe Ruth's card, and I'll compare it to somebody else. I got Babe Ruth and Harold Baines. Perfect.
Oh yeah. Babe Ruth, you got a lot of homers off of that.
Yeah, Trivial Pursuit was a really good game when it first came out as well.
Oh yeah, that's like the first Family Feud type game.
Yeah. So check this out, Left. This is Babe Ruth. This is his card. You see how big his one
that's
is
how
at
big
the
a
top?
trading card look like?
Yeah. You see how big his number 1 is at the top?
Yeah.
That's a huge space. As you spin, like it's a pretty good chance you're gonna land. He also has a big 7 for singles. Man, his 11 is double. His doubles are pretty big. So you know that's him. Now Harold Baines is a pretty good player, but you know, look at his 1. His 1 is not as big. 10 is strikeout. They always put the strikeout right next to the home run. He has a pretty big 10. His double is okay, and his singles are okay. So you actually had to scout the cards. You actually had to look at guys. We would lay them out. It would be like over 500 cards on the floor.
Oh, you really got to know your stuff.
You have to scout, like, yo, how big is his singles? You know, I need a leadoff hitter. Yeah, it was very intense, bro. Very intense. And then we would make trades in the middle of the draft. It was like fantasy baseball for us that grew up. And we still, like, me and my boy LJ, he'll hit me up and say, like, yo, bring the game over. And we'll go at it. A quick 9-inning game. We'll just go at it. Right? Because it's strategy. They have a strategy card. You can hit and run. You can steal. Man, it's I'm telling you, man, if you want to teach your kids via a board game and not video games, the game of baseball, strategy, hit and run, sacrifice bunting, all of that, all-star baseball is a great tool to be able to do that. Great tool. It's a classic. That's why I collect and I go and get cards every year from the modern day players just to have them on tab. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Great show today, Left. You know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty history? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, Petty Story today brought to you by ONORA Whiskey at NORAWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey at NORAWhiskey.com.
Right.
I'm switching gears. I'm putting Left on the Petty train.
Why me?
I'm putting Left on the Petty train for the recruiting shade. It just became evident in the second half of the show, like, Left, you just being all-time petty right now, bro. Just all-time petty. I couldn't even get over it. I'm like, all right, man. But I understand now. When I get out there to LA, Left, we're going for new culinary experiences, okay?
We gotta do that. We gotta try that.
Yeah, I'm not meeting you at Wingstop. I'm not meeting you at
That's so messed up. Wingstop is just a go-to during the week.
No, Left. No. And I had a burrito bowl last night, a steak burrito bowl.
You don't eat Wingstop? What you eat? Well, you got wing places. Like, we don't have
I'm in
wings.
Chicago, dude. I told you, Wingstop is like the last resort.
Yeah, that's a last resort. Okay, Wingstop is our number one here.
That's sad. That's pretty sad, bro. Well, we need to put California on the wing petty train, because if Wingstop is the top choice for wings in California, that has to be another spot. On Crenshaw, there has to be. Yeah, Antoine Gates said it's average, bro. He says Wingstop is average. Here's Eric Spadell. Thank you for the super chat. Just supporting my guys. Have a good weekend, LL Nation. Malik, you should start doing stand-up. So, shout out to Connecticut and Canada. Left went in today, bro. Hey, you see how I set him up for good analysis, LL? I didn't tell him certain facts because I knew everything would go left after that. Left Have a great weekend, man. Get over to the Irish Breakdown feed for the 4 best segments from Lucky Lefty this week.
That's
Download, support. Get over to CFB Nation. We appreciate you guys. Subscribe, YouTube, notification bell. We appreciate you guys. For Left, SD2 Mics, have a great weekend. But most of all, you got to make sure that you continue to spin it